It's like an extension of you.
The bar has always been an extension of my soul. I put on a presentation when I was going to Concordia University, and one of the professors was he was just shocked at how it seemed like, although there wasn't even a barbell during the presentation, because I was putting on a presentation about the squat, he said he could see that I was looking at one. Like I was grabbing it, I was putting myself under. That's very important to visualize, to be able to put yourself into a situation before the situation ever arises. And Olympic athletes do this all the time. You can run 30 miles in your mind and in your heart before you do it. And I always try to do my repetitions and my sets before I ever actually do them. That way when I do them, when I do them, they're already done in my mind. So the fear of failing should be somewhat absent. It's there, but it's not heightened to the point where it would cripple me.
So it's like almost like you have rehearsed it. You've kind of felt the fear before you even went into the movement. Like if you're in your bed or you're sitting down into a chair or you're hanging out, you're rehearsing in your head. You're feeling the fear, and then you pass through the fear through rehearsing you succeeding through it, going through your cues, making sure you're on point, and doing it. And then when you actually do it, when you're physically, tangibly grabbing the bar, then it just becomes this kind of repetitive process. It's almost like a repetitive program that's already run in your head because you've trained the program to run. And so when you go into your actual tangible movement, the program just runs automatically, and it just expresses itself. Is that basically what you're saying?
You're right, Samir. When I do the movement, a lot of times I approach the weight and it's like, there's no way I can even lift that weight because there's so much weight on the bar.
Yeah.
But I've already lifted it. Mentally, I've already lifted it. So therefore, I'm going to lift it physically or in real life, if you will. But a lot of times that does happen. I do. Those situations do arise. I'll put 500 pounds on the bar. I'm like, man, who needs or wants to lift that much weight? Can I really do that? It'll slowly creep into my mind, and then I tell myself, oh, I've already done it. So I'm just gonna make it look good.
That's awesome. I think that's really cool. I think you've probably watched The Secret, that movie. Like it talks about like if you think positive thoughts or you think like these really like amazing thoughts about how you want to succeed in life, it'll just come true. And I think there's something missing to that. And I think like you were saying, like you set the belief, you have these beliefs about what you can and can't do. And you're believing that you can squat this much weight. You've rehearsed it. That means you were doing something actively in your brain, but then you actually do it. And I think that's important. The actual step of doing it is so key. And I think people get kind of sucked into these gimmicks and schemes where it's just like, oh, just think these beautiful positive thoughts. And I think there's so much power to thinking that because you're priming your nervous system. But then as you're priming it and getting it ready to do these things, you actually physically express it. And I think that's really cool.
You couldn't be more right, Samir. And that's why I think it's really important that if you're a trainer and you have clients, that you give them a program and you tell them, hey, we're going to be doing X amount of sets with X amount of weight for X amount of reps on this specific day. And that way, before they even come in to train, they know they need to be mentally rehearsing doing it, because that mental rehearsing is the most important key to getting it done.
Gotcha. So it's like, I like that. So it's like you're telling them what to prepare for, and it's getting their body's physiology, not just the psychology, but the physiology that follows you thinking these things or rehearsing these things. Your physiology actually changes. Your heart rate goes up.
Well, you'll hear a lot of times, advanced powerlifters say, I finally think I'm at the point where I know exactly how much adrenaline I need to lift X amount of weight. Because if you release too much, well, then you have an adrenaline dump, and it doesn't even work out, or you get close to passing out, or you get sick. You need to figure out how much you need to release. And one way you do that is you mentally rehearse it in your brain. So although the weight's not there in your home or there in your car, you're able to make a connection with your inner being, And when it comes time to do it, you can kind of gauge how much do I need to release. And you just go about your business.
That's really cool. So it's kind of like titrating where you need to be. I think this is fascinating because people oftentimes I don't think see movement as a path to mastering yourself or self-actualizing yourself. And I think this is a prime example, like you being a powerlifter and you using this to get in touch with your body is very meditative. It's like it's meditation in itself. And sometimes there can be judgments passed that, oh, like you're just moving weight around. But man, this takes so much focus and so much intention and attention to what you're doing in order to actually make these movements work for you. And I think it is a path to mastery. It's a path to mastering yourself in several ways. It's a path of transcending, if you will. And I think it's almost spiritual for a lot of people. I think it's spiritual for me, and Dom, when I talked to him on the last podcast, like strongman was very spiritual for him. So I'm wondering for you, is this something that is transcendent beyond the mind?
Spiritually, I don't know if I like to look at it that way. Honestly, I think I'm predestined, and all I'm doing is I'm following my own destiny. And I found what I'm good at in life through trial and error. And I think it would be wrong to take your gifts and just throw them to the side. Mm-hmm. So for me, it's about expressing my true self. Mm. And that's what I'm doing. That's all I want to do is I'll let the journey run its course. I won't worry about PR numbers. I'll just take it day by day, put in the work, and try to enjoy life in the process.
I like that. It's like the journey is the destination versus the destination being the journey. I think that's powerful, a powerful concept to embrace. And it's through that process of doing, it's in the doing where you really find your gift. I think it's in the doing where you just jump in there and you start doing things that you're comfortable with. And all of a sudden you find things that you really embrace wholeheartedly because it's always been in you. It's just taking these actions and these experiences to really bring it back out, because you may have clouded it or covered it up with fear or what someone told you in the past that you can't do, and now you're doing it. And I think it's a really powerful thing to do. Well, hey man, this has been amazing. I love having you on the podcast. And Josh is actually right now he's training his clients here at Train Life Fit, which is fantastic. It's great to have him as an asset on the team. He's doing his thing. He's spreading his message, and I love it. And he's potentially even going to be teaching possibly even his own powerlifting class here at Train Life Fit. I think it's really exciting. I think it's a tool. It's a tool for people to use to become stronger in a different way. And it shouldn't be dismissed just because of some dogma that one person may possess against the sport or against the actual act of what it is. So anyway, I wanted to see if people wanted to connect with you, Josh, how would they connect with you? Do you have like a social medias, website?
Yeah, so I have a YouTube page. It's youtube.com/uppercase J for Josh, uppercase T for the, uppercase N for natural, and O for one, because when I made my YouTube page initially, I was just proud of being a drug-free athlete. Also, you can connect with me on Facebook at facebook.com/joshua.veteran, all lowercase. And I'm going to share this on bodybuilding.com, and I currently have 142,000 friends on there. So you guys can share it with all of your friends, and hopefully somebody takes something away from this. And it's been great talking to you guys and sharing my story with you.
Awesome, man. Thanks so much for being on the show. You can also find me at trainlifefit.com, and I have a YouTube channel that I am constantly putting videos up on, youtube.com/trainlifefit. And of course, you can also find me on Instagram at trainlifefit. So make sure you check us out, guys. We're doing big things in 2015. And you'll probably be seeing more of Josh either on the podcast or probably on YouTube videos. I look forward to making videos with that guy. He knows so much information. He has so much experience, and I can't wait to learn from him just as much as he wants to learn from me. It's a great journey to be able to have people from different backgrounds and different perspectives. So thanks again for being on the show, man. I really appreciate it, and love to have you back.
I will be back.
All right, brother. All right, Wellbeing Nation. Peace out. And until next time, until our next podcast, we'll see you very soon. Peace.